love to Emmanuel Jal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm looking for some people who's looking for peace. Maybe together we could make the world cease. Send mankind to the moon. We can reach to the bottom of the sea. That's why it's really kind of baffles me that we cannot end wars and bring peace. We cannot change the way people act. We cannot change the way people think. So you sit back, chill out and relax. Civilization will soon be extinct. That's why I am. I'm calling on the whole wide world. Come on people, would you help me? Let's scream and shout cause we want peace, yeah. To say the least, I dedicate this song to the common people caught in the middle of this common evil. I wish the world was a little bit better. Time to start looking at the man in the middle. Feel the genocide, feel the war genocide, I'm who was speaking. Silent of the land, there's no one who was speaking. That's why I am. I'm calling on the whole wide world. Come on Utah, would you help me? Let's scream and shout, we want peace, yeah. Some will say after Rwanda, and after Rwanda, not far from Rwanda. We've got a shot for the poor people living in Darfur. The world gone deaf, the world gone blind, the world gonna sit down on the behind. Nobody cared about a poor and needy. To be sapping up to the rich and the greedy. For every hill there's a river. I ain't kidding, we gonna shop turning on Rose City. One more time, one more time. We gotta figure out a way that we could all combine. Like Jericho, the walking, stomping down the southwest inside the city surround. You know what it's worth. Time to put a voice to work. We gotta shake that heaven and earth. That's why I am. I'm calling on the whole wide world. Come on people, would you help me? Stand up, everybody stand up. Stand up, everybody stand up. Stand up. Let me see your peace sign, y'all. Let me see your peace sign. Yeah, we're all, y'all. We want peace. We are gonna get it. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. We want peace. And we are gonna get it. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. We want peace. And we are gonna get it. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. We want peace. We want peace. We want peace. We want peace. And we are gonna get it. 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 Come on, everybody, come on. Hands up, let me see. Hands up, hold it. Hands up. We want peace. Thank you. Thank you. For those standing in the back, there's space in front if you want a place to sit, you know. And the guy sitting at the back, just in case they're latecomers, do you mind coming in front here? There's plenty of seats. Is that cool? Yeah. Plenty of seats here, so we can create a cozy, cool energy. It's like empty space here. How you guys doing? Awesome. Come on. Awesome. All right. I want to say thank you for making it possible for me to be here, to come and share my experiences with you. I'm going to begin with questions. Who owns your mind? Who owns your mind? Who? Now, look at the next person to you and ask them that question. Find somebody to alone. That young lady is sitting. Do you mind coming here? So, you can continue that conversation. Who owns your mind? Is it fear, worry, anxiety, poverty, fear of losing your loved ones, fear of losing your job, chocolates, cookies? Who owns your mind? Because the battles are fought in the mind and they are won in the heart. And whoever owns your mind owns you and everything you create. Normally I ask these questions in schools, colleges, universities, conferences. Most people would just jump, I own my mind, I own my mind, I own my mind. But one honest kid said one time, sugar owns my mind. And a gentleman yesterday said, a Somali lady owns my mind. And so, I'll ask again, who owns your mind? What owned my mind in the past was fear, worry, anxiety, poverty, fear of losing loved ones. But what dominated my mind the most was something called trauma. What is it? I call it a soul murder, an invasion of demons to occupy space in your mind, flashbacks in the day, and nightmares at night. Where did it come from? I was born in the most difficult time, in the 1980s in South Sudan. The time my country was at war with itself, and that war reached the core of my family. All my aunties from my mom's side died during the war. All my uncles, only 2 were left. My mom was claimed by that war. By the age of 7, my father gave me out and told me I'm going to go to school in Ethiopia. That war robbed the soul of my village. It robbed my childhood. First time I witnessed war, I thought the world was ending. It was raining fire from the sky, bombs would drop on the ground. The ground would be shaking and people would be running different directions. You see houses on fire. As we walk with dead bodies, I witnessed my aunt raped in front of me as a kid. As I watched her helplessly, I didn't understand what was going on. But as my father told me I'm going to go to Ethiopia, we walked hundreds and hundreds of miles on our way to Ethiopia. Some children died of dehydration, some were eaten by wild animals, some were eaten by diseases. Just imagine seeing 6, 7 years old, 12 years old, and 13 years old, bury their own dead. Somebody died, we dig our own grave, we make our own prayers, and we bury our own dead. I remember one time when we were in Ethiopia, a little boy started asking questions at night, saying, where is my mom? Where is my dad? Why are we here? God, what have we done to deserve this as children? Who made the bag of maize? As the kid asked the question throughout the night, I could hear his voice exhausted. In the morning, when the sun was rising,
all kids were looking toward the direction of that kid. He had a rope on his hand. He climbed the tree, tied the rope on the tree, and he tied it in his neck, and then he jumped. As we all watch a little boy take his life. And that summarized what was going on in the minds of the kids. We couldn't have it anymore. So in Ethiopia, I got trained, and I became a child soldier. That made me strong. But what I want to share now here is the lowest point I've ever been as a human being. The lowest point. And how that became my strongest point. We planned an escape with between 200 to 400 young people with few adults, and we are told the journey is going to take us 1 month. We wanted to go to stay with our families and protect our families. That was the plan. It was a devastating journey. It took us 3 months. We were avoiding minefields and ambushes, but it ended up taking us into worse conditions. When we ran out of food, we applied the basic soldier skill. We eat anything. But as time went by, it became intense. We're depending on vultures, snails, and snakes, but those things became wise and they kept off from us. At one point, soldiers began to eat dead bodies. My senses changed. When I look at my fellow human being, they smell like food to eat. And there was a child soldier next to me, and he was exhausted. He was about to die. I look at him, and he was looking at my eyes, and then I told him, I am going to eat you tomorrow. And he said nothing. That evening we put a bomb on another child soldier who died on another tree, hoping that as we rubbed the bombs around him to lay a trap for a hyena. So we put it under another tree, hoping if a hyena come at night to try to eat the dead body, the bomb would explode and then we can eat the hyena. The hyena came at night, the bomb exploded, was not hurt, they took the body. And that morning I crawled under that tree, hoping I could find a piece of a dead body I could eat. I didn't want to be seen eating any human being because I thought if somebody knows, then they're going to tell it. Because I don't want to do it secretly. At this point there was nothing. It was just flies hovering on the floor. Nothing. And I came back under the tree. One of the things that used to bother me a lot were flies. Flies just in your eyes and they're just bothering you. Too many flies. And what I used to do is I would just allow them to settle and do what they want. And I'll open my mouth and it's filled up with flies. And I just close my mouth and eat them. If it crossed my mind, it's a yucky thing to do. Why I didn't get sick, I don't know. So I came under the tree as I was with my other comrade. I remember what my mother used to do. So my mother, during the war, when she was with us as we ran from different places, she would lie with us on the ground and she would make our prayers and she would tell us, God is going to watch over us. And we just believed her and trust that happened. And so as a kid, I remember that and I said, okay, let me talk to Mom's God. Maybe something is going to happen. And I said, Mom God, if you are there, give me something to eat. And if I survive this journey, wherever I go, I'll always give you the credit. And so I waited for that night. Waited. Part of my mind tell me, eat your friend. Part of my mind tell me, if you eat your comrade, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. So I waited throughout the night. In the morning, 11 a.m., when I was about to lose hope and now eat my friend, a crow came on top of a tree, a black crow. I picked my gun and I tried to cock it. It was a struggle. I didn't have the energy, I didn't have the muscle. And so there was a child soldier who was laying dead on another tree. He picked his gun, he cocked it, he fired at the bird, and the bird fell between my legs. And I ate everything, from the clothes to the intestine to the feathers to the brain. Nothing of that bird was thrown away. But the question in my mind is, why didn't that young man who shot that bird live to eat it? He was gone. And I was wondering, how did he know that I'm struggling to shoot the bird? Was his soul hanging in the sky? That question I was wondering all the time, never had answers for it. Then after that, good things happened, more miracles happened. We got rescued, and we ended up in a place called what? This is pictures of me as a little boy. I was really trained already. That was in Ethiopia. That's my childhood friend. He's now in Australia. I thought he died till we met on Facebook. He said, "Is it you?" I said, "Yes, yeah, okay." So it's cool. Social media is cool sometimes. I want you to look at that picture. Just look at it. You'll never know the potential of any child or any human being unless that person is given an opportunity. When I arrived in Kuwait, I met the British aid worker called Emma McCune. She rescued 150 child soldiers. But I was the only one that she smuggled on a plane into Kenya. And she put me in school. She later died, so she didn't live. She planted the seed of purpose into my life, which later now led me to be where I am, to educate myself, to transform myself, and become a musician and be a contributor globally to the seed of education, that passion. I'm still carrying it on. We ended up putting 2,000 kids in school with a charity I founded called Gua Africa. Why am I asking you to look at it is, every time she crossed my mind, I get so much joy in my heart. And I get to look up forward with a different energy. Now I want to give you guys a moment. There's a scientific research that shows that things we want, the expectation we're looking for when it doesn't come, these are the stuff that rob us our joy. Those are the things that robbed us our moment. And years go by, we realize we're stressed and worried. And our life is taken away from us. And so, I came to understand when I began to appreciate what I already have, even the free oxygens that I'm not paying for, and the free sun, and just enjoy it. Or the people who give you a free smile, or the people who are around me, beginning to train my mind to see that. It actually allowed me to create space in my mind to think, and it also allowed me to rewire or reprogram myself. It's one of the principles that I use to reprogram myself to own my mind. I'm sure, even if there are people who are in their 80s, they have anxieties, they're worried. Is that true? Mm-hmm. And there are people, so when you live a life of gratitude, it ignites joy in your heart. So I want to take a moment of silence. We take 30 seconds. We close our eyes. Just 30 seconds. I'm asking everybody, just close your eyes. Who is it that in your life gave you an opportunity? that became a turning point. That whenever you think about that person, you just have a lot of joy. If they are alive, or if wherever they are, just send them a positive vibration from your heart. Now we can open our eyes. So what I would like to ask is the second question. Who is willing to share who that person is? I just shared with you guys how important Emmanuel came to me. And there's a lot of angels I can talk about. So who would take that brave step to tell us who that person is? Oh, we got this young lady here. Come on. Give her a big hand.
My name is Naibika. I go by Nyalka in my language because I speak the same language as him. I want to thank my parents because they were born at the same time you were, and they decided to move here before I was born to give me an opportunity to go to school. While me and my siblings are going to school, we're educated. My biggest brother is in college right now. He's pursuing medical terminology right now, and he's enjoying it, and everything is amazing.
How amazing is that support system? Sometimes kids nowadays don't even know they have parents. They are not even grateful for mothers who commit themselves to work full times, 24 hours. You can reach them any minute and they will put you first. And they never ask for a pay. It's amazing. Thank you for recognizing. Anybody want to back it up? Who in your life? Yes, sir. Okay.
So I would certainly say my wife, who's with me here, because she's a person who loves and knows how to love in the world, and she's a wonderful ambassador for relationship and for caring about so many people and so many causes. She's filled me, so she's filled me with joy because of who she is.
Wow. See, she's crying at the back. You know, you see how powerful it is when we just recognize somebody and we give them that joy that's tripled back to us. I mean, let's give them a big hand. It's very hard to find men who give their wives credit. You know, this guy is different, you know? Do you guys know what I mean? Because men are always competing with their wives. So let's give that man a big hand. So we're gonna say, can you guys say, my life is art. I recognize my life as a work of art that I create to spark conscious awakening. In this life I am creating, I am joy, I am peace, I am kindness, I am patience, I am wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I am enough. I have enough. I'll share what I have with those in need of my support. Okay, for now, I want you just to hold it. And now, I want you to think about your own words to use, the life you want to create. What is that life you want to create? What is that impact you want to create? So let's close our eyes, just like kids, you know? When adults become like children, they live longer. They enjoy life. The worries disappear. So let's put ourselves in the child voice, in your heart. Close your eyes and bring your imagination to active. And imagine that impact you want to create. Do you see people smiling? Do you see children dancing? Do you see animals jumping? Are you seeing fish happy in the ocean? What is that life you want to create? Are you seeing communities coming together? What is that life? Fantastic. So we can open our eyes. And we're going to want to check what is that life? Who want to share what that life they want to create? No? Who want to share the life they want to create? Wow, we got somebody. You know what? There's a lady who's 102 years old. I was told about her. Her name is Barbara. And I was told, 102 years old, she cared about activism. Why is she not going to play bingo? You know, that's what old people do. They reach certain age, they play bingo, and that's it with their friends. This old lady still go for meetings to talk about peace, justice, human rights. Can you imagine? She's still creating the life. And it gives her joy. So, I was thinking of retiring at the age of 50. But when I heard her story, I changed my game.
The other thing is if you were to meet with Barbara or run into her somewhere, she'd say, I need to talk to you. I'm thinking about this project and I want some help with it. Wow. Yeah, she still does that.
Oh, you know her?
I do know her.
Awesome.
So I see life where everybody realizes how precious they are, what a treasure they are, and how loved they are.
That's the life you want to create.
Yes.
Awesome. Can we give a big hand? So I think Barbara set up the standard, so there's no excuse for everybody here to go continue to create life. Do you see what I'm saying? So, Madam, do you like to stand? Yeah. So she wants to create a life where everybody's full of life, where everybody's enjoying their life, where everybody knows themselves, they're complete and they're valued. So that's the life she wants to create. Do you guys want us to wish her that journey? Yes. Okay, so I want you guys to wrap your hand like this. Let's all look at her. Yeah? So we wrap our hands. And you can prophesy, say good stuff to yourself if you want to. If you want to give anything out of your pocket or you write a check, you can say that too. If you tell her, do you need any advice, any volunteers, I am here. Whatever you feel. So let's say positive stuff to her. Come on, let's look at her and say all those good stuff. You rub your hands slowly. See, as we put our hands like this, both parts of our brains are united and our heart. So we're creating an energy level to wish her well. And then, can you start saying stuff? Guys, come on. I believe in you. Come on.
So courageous. Thank you. You have the energy. I do.
Come on, keep it going. Keep it going. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
I can feel it even if you don't say anything. I can feel you.
Yeah, you see, you can feel us. So let's rub it fast. Everyone fast, fast, fast. And then we're going to stretch our hands to our hand. Let's say, let it be. Let it be. Awesome. Anybody else want to tell us the life they want to create? This is like community uniting. So when we're united together and wish somebody well, like no force is going to try to run her down. She got all our hearts, our blessing, our prayers. Anybody else? Yes, this young lady here. Come tell us. What is the life you want to create?
I want to create a life where everyone is free to express themselves and use their subconscious and conscious minds to their fullest ability to create a world of peace and prosperity for all.
Wow. Awesome. You guys hear that live show straight? Awesome. What are you studying now in school?
Psychology. I'm going to become a therapist.
Wow. So she's going to help us own our minds. Yeah, because a lot of people are really messed up. So you're going to really help a lot of people. So she's already doing the work. So everybody, can we agree? Okay, we're going to wrap our hands. Can we say stuff to her? Come on. Everybody, look at her and say everything you feel like. Yes? Yeah, come on. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Awesome. All right, everybody, can we do it fast? Let's speed it up. And let's say, let it be. Awesome, thank you. Let's give it one more time. So, I believe everybody has a life they want to create. So, my life is that it's a whole philosophy that I've created, which I teach now, because it's what has helped me put my life together. I look at my life that I've been put in this world and also given an opportunity to be part of to create that life. One other thing I want to leave with us is, as I shared my story with you, the biggest mistake or the biggest thing we do to ourselves, the harm we create to ourselves, is not recognizing the value that our past defeat and failures gives us. Because we attach our emotions to it. When we attach our emotions to our past defeat, we don't get to see the lessons. We don't get to see the full value that it gives us. Because if you look at us, your past defeats, the wise men, the wise women see the values in it. And so, when you get a chance, if you have any defeat, because our past defeat brings us depression, because we haven't accepted them. But when we accept them, they give us a robust energy.
I just read a quote, and it says, your past doesn't define you, it prepares you.
Fantastic. Let's give a big hand. She just gave us a nice song. She has already started the work, so thank you. So, for the life we want to create, there's one principle we may require called courage. You know, I have 10 principles I meditate on, and courage is one of them. And so, what is courage in your own word? I want to hear what your courage. This is the collective learning. So when I ask this question, feel free, contribute, because my perspective of courage is different than yours. But when you tell me yours, you widen my walls, and you widen my world. So what's courage?
Courage is to do something that you need to do, even though you're scared to do it.
Fantastic. Let's give this guy a big hand. Yeah? Courage is to do something you need to do, even if you're scared of doing it. I like your quote, man. Love it. Anybody want to jump in? Yes.
Keep going in spite of whomever might tell you to stop.
Keep going, even though anybody's telling you to stop. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Last one of the last ones. Yes.
I think courage is waking up every day, even if it's the hardest time in your life, because you have one
Whoa, deep. That's deep. You know, because some days are so hard, and you don't want to wake up. You know? Yeah. Let's give that young lady a big hand. So courage, in my definition, is the power, the strength, the force inside us that make us overcome fear. And for you to gain courage, can we say that together? For you to gain courage, you must have something you believe in and must understand that fear is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. Failure is an infinite source of intelligence. So, we have 6 things we can talk about, but I'm going to pick a few of them quickly. And so, these are the pillars of courage. The first one is belief. You know, for you to gain courage, you must have something you believe in. Do you guys agree with that? So, you see, some people believe in failing, and then they do what? They fail. And some people believe in succeeding, and then they succeed. And if you look at it, if you find somebody who believes in justice, equality, and freedom for all, what is that person going to do? You'll find him being an activist everywhere, human rights, and all of that. If you find someone who believes in dogs, you know, dogs' rights, you don't want to take a photo of slapping a dog on internet. That person will step in your dog. Do you understand what I mean? What you believe in, you protect. What you love, you protect. You stand for it. So, where did my beliefs enlightenment come from? I want to take you on that journey, the foundation of where that beliefs came from. The journey I was telling you, the beginning of it was so difficult. We were drinking our own urine because there was no water. So you have to drink it. It's disgusting, it's terrifying, it makes you more thirsty, but at least your body still take that water and reuse it. We would wake up in the morning when there is dew on the grass and we put our hands on the dew and lick it several times because when the sun comes up, that's it. And so, and as we walk, the most challenging thing I had in that journey was my right leg. The little toe was cut and it was rotten. Every time I made a step, it was difficult. It was painful. The pain was crunking my head. There was a child soldier who was with us too. He had problems with his legs. He was getting current. And he was left under a tree. We're hoping that we'll probably come and pick him later. We promise he'll be picked. But as he saw us 50 meters walking away, he realized nobody's gonna come. He had a G3. He cocked his gun and fired. He collapsed on the ground. Now, when I saw that, he planted a seed in my head. And in my head, something told me, why don't you do the same as this young man did? So I had to wrestle with that. As we moved, I was overwhelmed by the pain in my leg, and I stopped. And I look at my past. All I could see was fire and so much suffering and so much pain. It's like suffering after suffering. Then I look at my future. It was blue, dark. I could not see anything. And when I look at my present, my leg was paining, and our numbers was reducing. People are dying. When our past and our present and the future collide negatively at one moment, we lose hope. We don't get to see anything. So what happened, what I did then was I took my gun and I looked through it and I cocked it with my right leg. And as I was looking at the hole and I fired the bullet failed. It did not come out, but I heard the click. I failed to end my life. But the shock kept me, and I thought I died, because it's like I froze in that place for a while. And slowly by slowly, the pain began to wake me up, and I could feel the pain coming back slowly by slowly. But I heard a voice in my head telling me, you are here for a reason. And when that voice said that, it triggered something. As a little kid, I always wanted to be a part of the solution. And I said, I believe I've survived for a reason. And I used to say, I believe I am going to be part of a solution. And I started reciting so many belief statements in my head. And as I recited the belief statement, what they actually did to me, I was possessed by it, by living in the head. And in that moment, I disconnected the pain in my leg and my head. And I made the first step. The pain came back cranky, but I continued reciting that statement. And I started living in my head. As I moved, the first step, second step, third step, reciting, living in my head, and just visualizing what that looked like, the pain began to disappear slowly by slowly. That night became the best night. It became the night that I slept like a little baby. And on that journey, my leg began to heal faster. I couldn't understand why just a belief can become a painkiller. I couldn't understand how just believing in what that is that I'm going to be gave me that hope to stand again. And so why I'm saying this, I want to challenge you tonight to just give it a try. If you have limited beliefs, begin to write positive beliefs beside them. I'll challenge you to go home tonight and write okay, cool. I'm getting signs at the back. If you tell me you're running out of time, good. So, I want you to take time, go home, write 30 belief statements. 30 belief statements. You'll be shocked. You're right, your whole life evolves around your beliefs. We're here because we have a common belief. Wise men have common beliefs, they hang out together. Thugs hang out together. Businessmen hang out together. It's a common belief. Those who like to rob people hang out together. Democrats have same beliefs. Republicans have. Liberals have. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's the beliefs that make us, that create the boundaries. Like you could be hanging out with somebody and somebody, you're a feminist and the guy made fun of a woman, and then because that person is feminist, there's a riot, no? So, and how can we upgrade ourselves? When we transform our belief, then our consciousness, we're able to open our perspective. So I'm going to pick 3 things. I'll probably focus on knowledge and faith. Yeah, I'm going to pick those 2. So I want to share a quick story about knowledge. You know, when I was in school, I fell in love with a girl. And when she passed on the corridor, my leg was shaking. And I would sweat, and I don't know. I like it, but I'm scared of it. I'll dream about her. When she's singing the choir, she's like an angel. I get high just looking at her singing. Her voice wasn't the best, but for me, it was the greatest. And so, I was in the same class with her sister. And one time when I was in class, I'm not concentrating. She comes in my head and I start smiling for no reason. I have my own plans of things I want to buy her, and I was broke, so have you ever had plans, you're doing some good things to somebody, but you don't even have the resources, but you just imagine how it would look like. And then I started saying, oh, this girl has bewitched me, because I'm in the same class with her sister. She doesn't want me to concentrate, because me and her sister compete. You know, I wanted to beat her sister in class. And so I thought, now sister, bewitch me so I can fail. And so when the bell rang, I went and looked for her, chased her to the girl dormitory, beating her up. I got caught, we were taken to a staff room, and I was punished for doing that. So the teacher told me, hey, I want to tell you, young man, when you reach adolescence, your heart will be taken by a girl without your permission. That freaked me out. That you fall in love without planning it. I don't know anyone who plans how to fall in love. Do you guys know what I'm saying? It's the weirdest thing the universe ever created. That you don't know who will steal your heart. Do you guys want some? And so that freaked me out as a student. Like that gave me so much worry that this would be taken away from me by a girl. It worries me. But another day it happened. So this time another girl stole my heart, but I had the knowledge, so I was trained. So I was okay with it being taken this time. And so what I did is I told my friend, hey, I have an opportunity to take a girl for a date. And he said, wow, cool. But I said, I'm scared. And he said, why? Because I don't know how to kiss. And he said, simple. Let's watch French movies. And I went on, when the holiday I looked at French tapes, I watched French, and seriously, French were great kisses at that time. Because there was English movies, but the French was serious. And I would practice with a pillow. So I practice with a pillow. In the evening, I go in the park when the couples are walking, holding their hands, and then they're kissing each other. I'll go very close. And then they see my face. And then I tell them, continue, I'm doing a science project. So they look at me as a weird kid, and then they leave me. So what was I doing? They say knowledge is power. When we are afraid of something, if we tell somebody else, they may have an idea for us. I told this kid what I'm scared of. He told me, watch French movies. The things we are afraid about, if we learn about them, if we tell somebody, and we talk, and we are curious, and we learn, when we face them, we'll have confidence. So the whole process gave me confidence. When the actual day came when I took that girl for a date, I kissed her for 3 to 4 hours. There was no weed, no alcohol, nothing. It was just what? Pure love. And we're high. All we had was fries, burgers, Fanta, and Sprite. And that did a good job. And so, knowledge is power. When we're scared of something, we learn about it. And so I thought I would share that story just to back up that. And then I'm going to skip wisdom. Just want to go failure as an infinite source of intelligence. Can we say failure? Failure is what? So one person who inspires me that I would like to share, his name is Thomas A. Edison. Have you guys heard about him? Yes, so as a little boy he was given a letter, and when he took that letter, he went home and he gave the letter to the mom. Inside the letter was describing how doof this kid is. No teacher could teach him in the school. They were so upset when they think his brain cannot absorb things. So when the mother opened the letter, she cried. And Thomas looked at the mom, why are you crying? Mom said, I am crying because you are a genius. And the kid said, what's a genius? It means you're the smartest kid in the world. And no school is going to teach you. So I'll be the only teacher from now. The kid was so excited, jumping around. So the mother planted a belief on him. And then he was taught at home. And then later on, he started paying more interest in science and marketing. And he had an ambition. I want to create a bulb that lights up with electricity. And one time, the question that he was given was the question that opened my mind. He was told, you fail 1,000 times trying to make a bulb. Then his response was, it was 1,000 ways that did not work, but we found one that worked. When I heard that really uplifted me. And it gave me more energy, not to be afraid of failing, but to look at it as a process that will take me where I am going. And so from there, I came to understand those who succeeded in what they're doing failed more than those who did not succeed. So the path to success is failure. One quote that helped me was, the guys who were trying to go to the moon, I know you guys know it, when they're trying to put it, there's a movie about them. And one of them, when they're having a hard time, and he told them, guys, it's rather we fail down here than fail up there. So let's fail as much as we can. And when I heard that at school, so whatever you do, fail fast as possible. Because you don't want to fail up there. You know? And so, my failure story, just to back it up, I want to share my failure story. I have failed so many times. There are many things I failed, but there's one failure story that gave me the greatest energy. When I was in school, because you guys are still in school, not the young ones, I was given a grade called UN, and I was so excited for it. So I went and showed one of the men, the elders. He opened it, and he told me, do you know what this is? I said, yes, United Nations. And he said, no, it's mean ungraded, unclassified. And I told him, do you mean I passed so well that I cannot be graded? And he said, no, it means you are below fail. Fail is better. Useless kid, he kicked me and told me, get out of here. You'll never be anything. You should just be a child soldier. Never come here. Westerns. You know, in Africa and America, we have two different things. Where we come from, you fail. Whoever first open your results has the right to slap you. Here, somebody give you a cookie and a hug. Two different things. So, here, I went into a little dark room, a small place. And I was tired of life. But my belief statement, as I told you, write your belief statement and know most of them by heart. And they're going to help you one day. What happened here is, in this moment, this belief statement, they came to rescue me. And when they came to rescue me, I made a decision and I said, like, this time, I am going back to school. And this time I just want to fail. You know, the things that destroy us the most is not what people tell us, it's what we tell ourselves when we are alone. How many kids here drop out of school just under one fail? So I went to school. I failed. I was happy. People were laughing. And I asked, I'm going for E. I got an E, D, C. You know what? I repeated one class 4 times. That's called year 12. Year 9 come and pass me. But what guided me not to listen to the politics was my belief and the impact I want to create in the future. Later on, I was admitted at the University of Westminster in the UK. And when I go, I had the lowest grade in that class. But when the exam came, I had maths 100%, physics 98%. The professors couldn't believe it. They thought I stole the test somewhere and somebody helped me. So when I'm doing the test, somebody sit next to me. And I just go so excited and say, what happened? So what I'm trying to say here, your belief statement, give it a time. It will do that job, what you're doing. And so, that's what I want to leave us for this now. So this is my life now. We're going to probably dance or do questions. Should we dance first or question and answers? Okay. So this is my life, as you can see. I traveled going to schools, colleges, universities, and just tell my stories for social and emotional learning. As you can see, I came from the bottom like a lobster, and now I'm rolling on the top like a rock star. Did a movie recently with Reese Witherspoon. As you can see, it's called The Good Lights Out There, Story of the Lost Boys. Here I am, Nile Rodgers. Also, I have my own superfood that I just put in water, drink, make smoothies out of it, and evolve. So I'm an entrepreneur. So you never know what you can do. So I'm creating life. I want people to eat healthy, you know. Those are my energy balls. And this is my wellness company. I organize retreats, do leadership workshops, things like that, and speaking engagement. So I am busy, young man, creating the life. Supporting people to own their mind, find their purpose, discover what they're created to do on earth, and then help them increase their mental power. This is it for now. If you're on internet and you want to know where I'm doing, what I'm doing, we are together. So it's time for questions. Yeah.
So we have a little while for questions for Emmanuel. So if you'll raise your hand, we have microphone people who will go to you. There's Solomon in the back, if somebody can get to him.
Question over there?
Yes.
Okay. 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 We're coming to you, Solomon. In the back.
Wait.
Male,
Hey Mali, how you doing, bro?
good, how are you?
I'm good.
My name is Solomon Awan. Here in Salt Lake City, one of the lost ports of Sudan. I beg that I take some few minutes, because that is my body right there. And the story that he was hearing is our story. I was in the same refugee camp as him. So I knew him in the refugee camp. And the boys that was standing with you, David, Noel, Vincent Mangum,
Yeah.
was with me in the same group. We used to eat whatever we can eat together and sleep together. I knew this guy in the camp. The nice guy ever. Good heart, broad smile, and a leader. When we were in the refugee camp, whenever we get a chance to be visited by outsiders, he was our spokesperson, was David Nguyen. We departed in 1991. And I walked to Kenya, my brother. You walked to other direction, and I'm glad that you got a chance through that woman to smuggle you out, to fly you to Kenya. So I was in Kakuma. When we were in the camp, we used to say education is our mother and father. My brother, this is my school. This is where I went to school. This is the auditorium that I come to listen to some lectures here. So I graduated here in 2012. And you said before, who gave you that opportunity? My answer is this school, the Westminster College. Not one degree, but 2 degrees, undergrad and graduate. And you know what? I was awarded the prestigious award at this college. Then the education I got here, I used it where you were last night. And the man standing over there was the one who interviewed me and offered me a job here at Prague. Because I wanted to give back as well.
The angels who brought me to this school might be among this audience because I don't know. So I did not pay a dime for my undergrad because somebody paid for it and did not want to let me know who that person is. He might be or she could be among this audience. I don't know. So I just want to let you know that I'm good people here and I'm so happy. And then what we used to say is true. This is my family, my brother, these are my kids. This is the world.
We're going to see if we can get up some more questions in here.
Okay,
Thank
this
you
is the
so
world I
much.
want to create. I just want to meet, I want them to meet you. Thank you.
Emmanuel, you started out in life with some very negative experiences, some horrific negative experiences. You talk about who owns your mind. How did you make the transition from all that negativity to being a speaker of positive messages all over the world? How did you make that change in your mind?
It's a whole process. Like there's a different learning. I was a bitter kid myself, and my desire was to kill as many Muslims and Arabs as possible. But when I was given the opportunity to go to school to widen my perspective, I came to discover the truth. And by discovering the truth, I came to realize what was preventing me to move forward was emotions that are attached to the experiences that I had before. And one of the big ones is bitterness, my heart. I had to let go. And by letting that go, my heart became lighter. I was able to experience joy better. And my heart was able to send signals into my mind. So my heart and my mind were united. Because I said, any kingdom that is not united shall be destroyed. And so because my heart and my mind are not united, and I view my title as a kingdom or a country as a nation, and every cell in my body as a citizen. And so, in my mind, or my conscious mind is like the prime minister, and my heart is like the king. And so, and that freedom, I tested the freedom within. And since then, I say, how do I protect this? And this is the journey I am in, because I have joy every day, and I know what takes away my joy is if I am bitter, if I compare myself to somebody, if I do something nice and I want expectation from it, if you're looking for credit all the time. So beginning to take years. And so it's a whole process. So there are many principles. Now I organize retreats where people come and I take them through a journey in which a person can begin to liberate themselves from within. Because I believe once you can be able to be free from inside, then your action outside will just be that experience. Anybody, what you have inside is what everybody else will experience. If you have a lot of worries, that's what will happen. If you're traumatized, you'll hurt even your loved ones without you even knowing. If you're bitter, you're going to hurt people around you too. And so that if you clean yourself inside, you're not harmful yourself and everybody around you, and you carry that energy. And so, yeah. Thank you for the question. Okay. One of the things that I'm going to do now is I'm building an online community that I can share this work with, but I'm also building a meditation app that a person can use to reprogram themselves, to rewire themselves. The type of meditation I am building is not like the normal one that everybody has. It's like a 360 approach. So you're able to create habits that can manage yourself. You're able to rewire your brain. So you pick something every month and you tweak it. Just like a computer. When I look at a traumatized mind, cannot think beyond a month, beyond a year. Just like a poor mindset, you act on instinct. And for you to think 30 years, it means you have a strong mental power and patience to be able to think strategically and plan. And so, and just like a computer, I look at it, human beings are like computers that new program can be installed to manage them. And so, and that's the app that I'm building now, so it should be out soon. But the thing is I'm passionate about supporting people to find their purpose and living their life in full. Yeah.
Yes, this is gentleman.
In sort of reverse of the gentleman's question over there, your life had reached such a negative point when you reached for that gun. There was only one direction to go, but forward and positive. What about so many people I'm acquainted with that have nothing but positive things in their life as they develop and grow, but they go the other way. They go to negativity. Why is that? Why do they choose that direction, or is direction forcing them the opposite of what they've always experienced?
I didn't understand your question.
Well, it seems like your direction was from total negative experiences you had, but you had to go the other way, toward positivity. Other people grew up with advantages and everything positive and things that are so good, yet they still go the other way, toward negativity. Why is that, and how? What influences that in your mind?
Everybody has got their own things that are disturbing them. Now, recently I did a tour with a young lady who was born in a very wealthy environment. Probably most of you knows her. Her name is Elizabeth Koch, and she's daughter of the Koch brothers. And so we did a project together called Unlikely Collaboration. One of the biggest fear was to be hated by people. And so she doesn't know how can I relate to people. I've been born in so much wealth, but I want to be there. I want to connect with the normal people. And so our whole journey, she had her own experiences. And so what I look at it, everybody has got something in their mind that is disturbing them. And so when we collaborated together, when she was able to share a story, and we'll go and meet with people, with Americans and all other people who knows her father, she was surprised by how people accepted her for who she is when she's able to tell her story from her journey and her experiences and her pain. So people begin to see the human and connect with her, not judge her. One thing I can say about it is, every human being has a purpose. And when people don't know their purpose, they're not going to enjoy life in full. That's why you find someone may have so much money in everything. They have billions of dollars, but they're still living an empty life. They still don't know. But there are people who have nothing and they have joy. And there are people who have nothing who are also terrible. And so what I found is a grounding effect when a human being finds their purpose, they're not afraid of anything. And I can explain that is, I was invited by Richard Branson one time to his island, and there was like 30 billionaires. And so one thing I came to realize, when I meet a billionaire that knows their purpose, our conversation is like I am just talking to a person on the street. But when I meet the one that is not walking in their purpose, they have anxiety. You know, rich people are afraid of anyone who can ask them money. When you're poor, they know you have nothing, they think you want their money, they're paranoid. So they're seeing child soldier, probably he has many problems, probably has no money. I remember one time somebody told me, okay, whatever you want to say, just don't ask me for anything. I said, look, I was just inspired by you, I want to ask you for a question, I'm not looking for your money. So there's that tendency. But when I was with Richard Branson, we played chess, game of chess, like the whole 2, 3, 4 hours, and we sit together and we have normal conversation. We talk about his dreams, we talk about the stuff that was doing. And he wasn't looking at me as a poor African kid who wants things, because he's grounded in his purpose. And so we have to look at it if somebody is this way and doing terrible things, we have to know what is their journey, where were they born, what happened to them, because our lives are shaped by our environment. The program installed in us will make us do things. You are different from me, but the beliefs could bring us together, but our environments are different. Maybe we can have shared philosophy, and we do that, it will allow us to do things together. So what are those beliefs that made them build their walls to do that? I believe everybody's right, and they're doing the best they can with what they know. But if we have to be retaught, who could ever thought a bitter South Sudanese kid would talk about positive things? Who ever thought? I hated Muslims. Now I play, dance with them, make music with them. That's insane. One question, and then we're going to have something really cool. Nobody runs away. Because I was told, okay, this is those who live in their head are scared of music. So we're going to know who lives in the head and who lives in the heart. Those who live in the heart would move to the floor.
So you touched on a point where you said businessmen stay with businessmen, Republicans stay with Republicans, and I've learned a lot that power of agency, being around people that you want to be around or people that you want to become, you need to be around those type of people. If you can't find that type of person that you want to become, so for example, if you want to start helping people, how do you start finding those types of people? How would you try and create agency?
Are you saying if you want to help people, how do you find the people you want to help?
Yeah, well, no. So if you, easier example, if you want to become a businessman, how do you go about trying to attract that into your life? How do you find that power of agency? How do you find the other people that kind of relate to you so you can accomplish your dreams as well as their dreams? Because with you, I imagine it's not that you can do it by yourself. You probably need a big team, or you need like-minded people to make your dreams come true and other people's dreams come true. How do you find this type of people?
Fantastic. That's a great question. I will show you one thing I believe. When you take a bowl, you put all kind of stones in it, and you shake that bowl. The stones, if there was metal in it, even if you put sugar on it or milk powder and you shake it, do you know what's going to happen? Everything will organize itself according to their size and their density, and they'll according to their likeness. So the way I look at it, the quality of your thought and your thinking and your plans and your ideas, what you're holding in your head, create a density of when the universe is moving, it will pull you around those people. And so, how you have conversation, maybe you may even meet with somebody else and you're passionate, you see, you're thinking, you realize you click with this person and makes that person know that person. But nowadays with social media, it's easy. It's easy depending on how you can train yourself to think strategically and how you just go on YouTube. How do I connect with somebody in this? There's a bunch of ways you can do it. I believe in the power of asking. Nothing can be asking. Because I realize the people who have become really successful are the one that ask. They ask. They even hire people to ask on their behalf. Do you understand what I'm saying? They hire the brilliant askers. How do you call it? They have a marketing person, people who can hack into your head, asking you without even you knowing, and you realize you go to a shop and you buy a shoe. They hack into your subconscious. So there are professional ways. So even in school, there's business school, there's a professor. Professor cannot teach business if he's not connected to businessmen or read business book. So there are other ways. I'm sure if you ask somebody, I'm interested in this, do you know anyone? You go on LinkedIn, there are all kinds. You know LinkedIn? You can even post on social media. yo guys, this is what I want to create. I want to start a restaurant. Do you have an idea of a businessman who can give an advice? You'd be shocked. Yo, I'm George, I can help you. People are dying to give people free advice. I think the biggest mistake that people are making in the West, young people are making, is they don't respect their elders. If you're going to bring elders back, there are a bunch of men who have retired out there, who are looking for somebody to just talk to. And if you can find yourself a council of 5 smart, old, retired baby boomers, soon, by just listening to their advice, they'll trust you. And the next thing they say, look, you know what? Here's $10,000, I believe in you. You didn't even ask them, but because you listened to their wisdom. So we're done now, so you guys want to stand up? We're going to do something cool together. Let me see your hand like this. It's not